We have with us Coach Lindsay Gottlieb, Kiki Iriafen, Juju Watkins, and Kaylee Heckel. Again, a reminder, make sure your cell phones are silenced. If you do have a question, please raise your hand, wait for the microphone, give us your name and affiliation. We will start with Coach Gottlieb doing introductory comments. Then we will go to questions for the student athletes. When those are done, we'll excuse them, and then we'll come to questions for Coach Gottlieb. So with that, Coach Gottlieb.
Yep. First thing, I want to congratulate UNC Greensboro and their coach, Trina Patterson, and their players on an incredible season. It's really hard to win a conference regular season and tournament title. They earned their way here, and I thought they came out, played with really good intensity. I also want to just commend the crowd. I think it's never lost on me how incredible it is, kind of what we've built here in a time when people said you couldn't do it in LA or at SC for women's basketball. And it's a credit to our players and how they play, and the administration who's poured in support in a number of ways. So just an exciting day. Glad to get the first one out of the way. Excited to be continuing to play. I thought, we were a little bit rusty on offense early, but also that was a credit to UNCG, who came out and played some tough D. But I thought we figured it out together. I thought our defense was our calling card. I think the pressure helped get us going, and I thought we got contributions from everyone. I thought, our bench came in and did a really good job today, as well as, our go-to people sitting right here who hold us down day in and day out.
Okay, we'll take questions now. And anybody on Zoom, if you do have a question, please raise your hand, and we'll try to get to you also. We'll start here with Ryan.
Juju, obviously.
Name and affiliation, please.
Oh, sorry, Ryan Cartier, LA Times. Juju, how are you feeling, just in general? What happened with your hand? And then in the third quarter, it seemed like you were limping after a shot.
I don't know. I think, it's the end of the season. Body's a little banged up, but on to the next. Nobody really cares, so on to the next.
We know you came back in the game. You're fine.
Oh, yeah, I'm all good. Don't worry.
Come over here for Michelle. Juju, use that microphone.
Push it back.
Make sure it's in front of you when you're talking for both of you. Michelle.
Hi, Michelle Smith from The Next. Kiki, did it feel like you guys had some rust to shake off at the start of that game?
Yes, I think it was pretty evident. I think, one, we were really excited to just be playing again. We haven't played in about 2 weeks, playing in your home court. So I think there was a lot of rust, but a lot of excitement. And I think our defense really helped us in that first half, staying in the game. And then, Coach talked some sense into us, and I think we came out much better in the second half.
Oh, I have a follow-up about talking sense as well.
Oh, gosh.
Do you want to talk about talking sense?
Sorry.
I try to be sensical once in a while. Really just, I think it's a unique situation where I feel like we've accomplished a lot, and we've got a really good team, but we still have more growth, which is a good thing, right? We've got, a period of time here. And so just reminding us that we have everything we need in the locker room, but we also don't have to be perfect, and it doesn't all come sometimes all at once, and just getting us back to what our core, mission is. And they're really responsive, and I thought that was really important.
Let's go down here. And let's keep our questions to the student athletes right now, please.
Hey, Juju. When you left the game in the second half.
Name and affiliation,
Oh,
please.
sorry. Timothy Parker, Spectrum Networks. When you left in the second half, were you scared at all for any moment? What did you feel coming off the court? And how frustrated were you with the offense in the first half?
I don't think it's frustration. I think it's just knowing we could be better. Like he said, we had some rust to get off. So hopefully that's all done with. And, we can really head into this next matchup with our best versions of ourselves and, play our game.
And when you came off?
When I came back, no, I wasn't worried at all. I'm really confident in my team, regardless of if I'm in or not. I know what they can do, so it's just a matter of when I'm in, just impacting the game as much as I can.
Right down here in the front, please.
Charlotte Moore, FI 360 News. This is for all you ladies. What did you think that UNC Greensboro was making you guys early struggle in the offense for the first half?
I mean,
we talked about it at halftime. They have a very high defensive efficiency. They're like #1 in the country in that. So I think that was probably disrupting us a little bit. But I mean, I think the biggest thing for us was just us being able to fix it ourselves. I think we were kind of beating ourselves in the first half on offense. So I think we just had to regroup at halftime, and when we did that, we got into our flow.
Follow up to that, you did a reverse layup in the game, and the team all jumped up in the bench. How did that make you feel as far as with the momentum of the game?
Yeah, it made me feel great. I mean, my teammates are super supportive of me, and I feel like every time anyone who does anything good on the court, we're always hyping them up in any way possible. So I think that it's just cool for my teammates to be supportive of me, for sure.
In the middle here.
Amanda Scarlock, LA Sentinel newspaper. Can you talk about Raya Marshall's effort during this game, getting 7 blocks? Her effort, what do you all see about, like, tell me about her, like, day to day and how much she is committed to this team?
I think I say this all the time when I speak about Rhea, but she really is the anchor of our team. Like, there's no us without Rhea, and I think she's such an unsung hero for this team. You know, she's one of the veterans that has been here all 4 years with Coach Gottlieb, but she's just so vocal. Even when she's not on the court, we can always hear her. She's always positive, so she's always impacting the game, whether she's on the floor or not. But I think with her, she just really instills a lot of confidence in us defensively, and then offensively, whenever we're stagnant, she's typically the one to get us back into our flow.
Right over here.
Ari Jones with the Culver City Observer. This question's for Coach. What is it about these coaches?
We'll keep our questions for the student athletes right now.
Kiki, can you talk about just what is it about playing with this team that makes it fun? It seems like you guys always have good energy despite whether it's struggles or miscommunications. What is it about playing with this team?
I think we have a lot of youth. I would say I'm getting up there in age, so playing with a lot of freshmen and sophomores and just young players makes me kind of just go out there and have fun. Like, they play so carefree, so I try to do the same. And I think it's super special when you get to play at home. You have that 6th man with the crowd in it. So I think for us, it's a great opportunity to be here. We know that nothing is promised, so we have to take one game at a time. But I think we're just super grateful to be on this big stage and to take advantage of it.
Go to Ryan. We'll do one more here.
Ryan Carchi, LA Times. Juju, it seemed like the defense really changed, the effort changed when you guys went to the press. What is it that makes you guys so good at that full court pressure?
I think, like I said, our defense is something that we really take pride in, and I think because we couldn't really get it going on offense, we relied on our defensive ability. Ray at the dog, I mean, she always brings a bunch of energy. Ken, K9, I mean, they really turned the game around for us. So, when things aren't going our way on one side of the floor, we always try our best to make it up.
All right. Thank you, student athletes, for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think that's mine.
Okay, we'll take questions now for Coach Gottlieb. Down here in front.
Coach, you guys limited them to 11 missed field goals in the second quarter and only 1 made field goal in the third quarter. What was kind of the secret of the defense to kind of limit them to that and force so many turnovers that ended up being like 32 points off turnovers?
I mean, part of it is that's what we try to do, no matter who the team is. But I thought, they run a dribble drive offense and play 4 guards, and I thought our ability to keep the ball in front of us, and then Rhea helping, patrol that paint when we did get beat was critical. And I thought we defended the 3-point line well.
Right here.
Aaron Heisen, OC Register. Lindsay, I just wanted to ask, when you put Rhea on the front line of the press, what do you think that wrinkle does to another team? How do you think it kind of suffocates them?
I mean, she's so good there, and she's always been long. She's always moves really well laterally. And what we've seen, I think, over the last year or two is she's really owned that spot. I think takes a lot of pride in it. Her angles, she's very smart there. Her angles are really good. She understands it's a big part of her role. So she's really terrific in that spot.
Let's go back to Michelle.
Lindsay, what does your heart tell you about this next game?
I took a nice photo with my friends from Cal yesterday, and we said, this is our, Thanks a lot, NCAA committee photo, right? You always, first and foremost, I'm focused on this team and whatever happens. And Coach B worked with Coach Sam at Mississippi State. There's relationships in this game. So on the one hand, you like to root for your people that you know. On the other hand, you don't want to play your people that you know. So I'm rooting for a lot of overtimes, a very well played, tough game, and we'll face whoever the winner is. Two really good teams with different styles.
Back middle.
Cameron Ruby from The Next. You got to empty your bench today, including some people who played really strong minutes and scored some points. What does that momentum, energy, kind of camaraderie moment mean for this team, and how does that carry forward into the next games?
Yeah, I think there's our bench that consistently is in the rotation and gets minutes. And I thought they really showed up today and played great. And I thought, as Juju mentioned, it kind of shifted the game a bit, so that was great. And then when you can play everybody, all 14 people that are healthy to play, Laura Williams is injured, I think it gives an emotional boost because they're a huge part of what we do. And we say it all the time, and I know that our team believes it, and we try to show it in the ways that don't show up in a stat sheet or on the court. But when you can also do it on the court, there's nothing that matches that. It's great. And I think the way you see them cheer for one another, when AG made a bucket and Viv, we have a lot of belief in all of our players, but they play their roles that we ask them to play. And when they get, rewarded in a public setting like that, it's just icing on the cake.
Right here.
Connor Morissette, 24/7 Sports. Coach, what was responsible for the slow start on offense today?
UNCG is the #1 defensive team in the country in terms of their efficiency, I believe. They came out with a game plan. I think, they did a really good job, and there's always going to be a resistance from another team. I also think, we haven't played in 2 weeks, and I think our players had a good energy about them beforehand, but maybe that sped us up a little bit, and I think we figured it out, but it took us a little bit to knock down some shots. It took us a little bit to get in a flow. I think we never quite felt in a flow, but you got to credit the other team for that a little bit, just trying to take you out of a flow. And then I think we also, have to understand how to get ourselves in a flow when teams are trying to take things away from us.
Paulo, you had a question?
Paolo, you got ESPN. Lindsay, when Juju is, clearly banged up a little bit in terms of her wrist, and we saw her, exit the game a little bit. I'm curious, what's your kind of process of figuring out whether it's keeping her in the game or giving her more? I know you guys said you had some rust to shake off, but what was kind of the, thinking there?
Well, we're fortunate that we were able to sit everybody, all the starters down with about 6.5 minutes to go. Juju probably hasn't played under 30 minutes in about a month and a half or whatever, because the Big Ten season is hard likewise. So I think we earned the right, to be in a game where we can rest some people somewhat. When it's in the middle of rotation, regular rotations, and it's not time to sit people down yet, I trust her. I listen to her. I trust our trainers, and I say, "You good?" And when she says she's good, I'm probably not going to shut her down, when she says she's good before it's time to shut her down. I don't know if that's clear. It answers your question.
Thanks.
If you can hand it over to the right.
Kennedy Duke, Naismith Award. Can you just talk a little bit about Juju's defense and how that's kind of grown over your time coaching her? Obviously, there's a lot of talk about her offensive abilities and her skills, but can you just talk about how her defense has really changed over time?
Yeah, she's game-changing on both ends of the floor. She's always just had, qualities that you can't teach, instincts, timing, her ability to block shots without fouling, her ability to, keep someone in front and make it tough on them. But what you add over the course of your career, and it's similar with Rhea, you take those gifts and then you add knowledge, right? I feel like that's what our job is, to try to give them the answers before they take the exam. And I think the greatest players use their instincts, and then they also take whatever the scouting report is and they add that. So now I think there's a deeper level of understanding of what the looks are going to be, and then she can still be herself and go out and make plays. She does some things on the defensive end that, we don't practice in practice, but you try to put her in situations to, have the ability to make those plays. And I think she's really impactful on both ends of the floor, whether it's deflections, which we track, she gets a ton, blocks and steals, but really just being tough to score on in a one-on-one situation as well.
We're going to do 2 last questions, one here and then one over there.
Hey, Coach, Timothy Parker, Spectrum Networks. How do you feel like this team has grown since the loss last March? Against UConn, of course.
Oh, okay. Well, we're a different team from that team, certainly. I mean, a lot of different cast of characters, different people. I think how this team has grown is just an understanding of who we are. You know, I thought we had a group that had a really great chemistry from jump off the court. Everyone really likes each other. But you know, you can put a bunch of great players on a piece of paper and it doesn't make for a great team. You got to work to get that. And so I think they've really worked to have a synergy with one another on the court, to have an identity on both ends of the floor, to understand what, you know, each other brings and how we can take advantage. And that's still a process for us, but it's leaps and bounds from, you know, doesn't mean we're perfect all the time. We certainly aren't. But our ability to kind of, you know, respond in situations and understand what the task at hand is and do our best to get it done is better than it was early in the year because we have a better synergy amongst one another on the court and in huddles and things like that.
Final questions over here.
Johnson, Orange County Register. I wanted to ask you just about Aaliyah Gales out there hooping today. What does that mean to you to see her out there, considering all that she's been through?
I mean, she's just a critical part of our team, first and foremost. I see her hoop in practice a lot. She does an incredible job, actually, a lot of times playing on the scout team and being the other team's best player or the other team's lead guard. So we see her, you know, doing some great things. But to be able to, you know, have her play in a crowd like this, to feel the love from this community, from this school, you know, I always talk to her about every step in her journey is not the last one. It's just another one, right? So to see her, you know, in good health, wearing a USC jersey, you know, playing in an NCAA tournament game, you know, for our team, it's really significant on so many levels. And you know, it's not the end of her story by any means, but it's always good to recognize a step and say how cool it is of the point that we're at right now.
Great. Thank you, Coach Gottlieb.
Thank you.
Okay, a reminder that Hammond Communications will post